Fiona Wallace with Miss Lee Champion Spotlight. And we have Molly Manning Robertson in the studio today. And Molly, I'm just so excited for you to be telling us what is going down March 6th.
I'm excited to share it with y'all.
Okay, give us all the details.
Okay, so I'm going to be on the Spring Baking Championship Season 9. And the first episode is all about love. We're doing a whole love theme this season. Mm-hmm. And so the first episode is going to be love-based. It's about who do you love and what made you fall in love with baking. So I'm excited to share it with y'all.
This season on Spring Baking Championship, love is in the air.
I'm in love.
What's more love than butter?
This is hot. This is passionate.
I'm on fire.
You got chutzpah.
A dozen of America's best bakers.
Making dreams happen here.
Compete in challenges devoted to the most romantic season of the year.
La la.
Woo. From hooking up, how's everybody making out?
Yes, blueberry cheesecake. Uh-oh.
To breaking up. I'm out.
I'm freaked out. Keep going.
They'll create cuddly cakes, magical muffins, and even a few naughty Napoleons.
This is a flaky relationship that I can get behind.
I love it. But only the baker who can seduce the judges with their passionate pastries.
I can't talk. I just have to eat.
Will win $25,000.
We cannot afford any mistake today.
And the loveliest title of all, Spring Baking Champion.
This is what will get you to the finale.
Wow.
Opera cake.
You're gonna fall in love with Spring Baking Championship.
Yay!
This is love at first bite.
Yay!
Okay, and March 6th, what time?
It's at 7 p.m. Central Time.
Okay.
And it's a 2-hour premiere, so you got to settle in for the long haul.
Yes, okay, we're so excited. Well, can you tell us a little bit more about what did make you fall in love with baking?
So what made me fall in love with baking initially would probably be my grandmother, my dad's mom. I always baked with her in the kitchen. You know, she let me make biscuits with her, pies, cakes, everything. And so that's probably really who did it for me because, I mean, I didn't really cook until, you know, she started showing me stuff. And then even after that, I really didn't cook.
Okay, so what you're saying is we might hear a little bit about her in the first episode.
Oh, yeah, you definitely will hear about my grandmother in the first episode. So.
Okay, and so how did this come about? Did they reach out to you?
So, yes, so I had somebody initially reach out to me on Instagram. And so we kind of started talking about different possibilities, different shows. And then this one kind of worked out with my schedule. And so I had some interviews. I had a baking interview, and then they picked me. So,
oh my gosh! Well, we're so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited.
Okay, well, tell us about your early career in baking, or like how you became a pastry chef.
So initially, I wanted to go to culinary school in high school, and so I had it was called Pro Start. So it was kind of like a home ec kind of thing. We didn't do anything other than cooking though. So I had a teacher, Miss Debbie Robinson, and she kind of like ushered me into the culinary field as a possibility. And so I talked to my mom and dad about it, and they were like, listen, you don't cook anything at home. You don't know how to bake. Like, I mean, other than baking with my grandmother, but she pretty much did everything. I just like licked the beaters, you know? They were like, I think that you might want to just go to Ole Miss like I initially planned and then just kind of see what happens, maybe get a job at a bakery or a restaurant and then see if you still want to do it. Then we'll discuss it. So I went to Ole Miss. I got my degree in marketing communications, emphasis in advertising. And when I graduated, it was 2008, the end of 2008. It was a terrible time to be in advertising. So I was like, what am I going to do? So I got a job at my senior year of college at Emily's Bakery in Oxford, and I started working there. And so I really started getting into it. Like I started off baking, and then I graduated to cake decorator and kept on with that until I was kind of the manager and I was kind of helping running the place. And then I was like, okay, I think I want to go to culinary school. And so there was a girl who worked for Nuke's, the chain restaurant. She went to the French pastry school. And so my boss, Linda Fleming, said, hey, I know somebody who went to Chicago to culinary school. This might be a great school for you. And so we looked at that school because I initially wanted to go to New York. Okay. I wanted to go to, I forgot what it was called, the French Culinary Institute or something. And my dad was like, no, I'm not sending you to New York. That's too much. It's going to be too expensive, too dangerous. I don't want it, too dangerous. Yeah. I went to Chicago. Like, let's talk about that.
Put your head to Chicago.
We need to rewind that a little bit. But yeah, at the time, he thought Chicago was smaller, closer to them. it might be a better fit. So I ended up going to the French pastry school in Chicago and loved it. The program was only about 6 months. But when I started, I mean, I don't know if we want to get this detailed into it.
Let's get detailed.
Okay, girl. Well, when we started it, about 2 months in, I had severe headaches, like migraines. I've never had headaches before. And so I had to I was during like a final and I just couldn't even finish. Like I had to go out in the hallway. I was like, I can't do this. So ended up 2 weeks of migraines. I ended up having a stroke. So so I had to quit the program and they were really good about that. They're like, listen, it's okay. You can start back up later. You know, it's fine. You're only 2 months in. I didn't really get that far. It was only a 6-month program. It was just a certificate. It wasn't a bachelor's or anything. And so I was in the hospital for about like 3 weeks maybe with that. And then I transferred over to a rehab hospital and I lived there for about a month. So, you know, with that rehab, they really worked me really hard. I did intensive therapy because I couldn't walk. So I wasn't able to walk or use my left arm. So, yeah. So it was quite the shock. I was only 24 years old at the time.
Oh, wow.
We didn't really know what caused it. I had a vertebral artery dissection. So the artery in my neck just broke and I didn't realize it. And so a blood clot formed. That's what happened. And so with all the therapy, I'm kind of going fast over this. We're getting fast.
Yeah,
you're getting the Cliff Notes version of this. With all the therapy, they were able to get me back in school in July. So so it was pretty quick.
I mean, a quick recovery.
Well, I had to continue. I continued to do therapy throughout the summer. Like I kept going, like, you know, because the rehab hospital, you know, was not that far from where I was living, and so I just did that, and then I was able to start back, and then I finished the program that next semester, and then I stayed on. And that's the thing, you know, I attribute that stroke to like everything. Like it changed the whole trajectory of my life because I was thinking, listen, I'm going to do this 6-month program. I'll probably move back maybe to Arkansas, you know, maybe to Little Rock or something where my friends live, figure it out, whatever. Well, because of the stroke, you know, when I started back, she was known, you know what I mean? The teachers knew who I was. I felt like teacher's pet. Like, you know, they were like, you know, they felt bad for me. And so like, I was like, oh, I like this experience so much better. Plus I'd already had part of the program. So the chocolate showpiece, chocolate sculpture, I was the best in the class because I already done it. So, you know what I mean? So I was loving it. So I did the program again and I said, well, you know, I think I want to do the internship next. So then I did their internship program for another 6 months. And then I got a job at the Palmer House Hilton, which was my first hotel job. I worked there for a couple of years. And then I went to the Langham Hotel in Chicago and worked there until I moved here. So,
okay. So what sparked your move back or your move here?
Oh gosh. Well, more tragedy sparked the move. Not for me. Well, but you know, like my niece was born in 2012. So I was living up there. I didn't want her to know me. My niece Mary Blair, some of you may know her. I didn't want her to know me through FaceTime. Like, you know what I mean? Like it started to kind of get to me that I can only see her maybe like once or twice a year because it's so expensive. Like, I mean, I was flying home as much as I could, but also in hotels, you don't get to just take time off. Hotels never stop. Holidays, I'm there. I mean, the first Christmas that I missed was devastating.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was beautiful because I walked to work in the snow, but I cried the whole time. Just crying in the snow. Oh my God. Yeah, because I mean, but once I got to work, I was fine. But it was just like the loneliness of like going there and then coming home to nobody because I didn't have, you know, I didn't have Ian at the time. I met him while I was there, but I didn't have anybody. So it was sad. So you miss all the holidays. You know, people are being born. You know, my grandparents were getting sick and older. And I just like, what am I doing up here? Like, I love it. I'm a city girl. Like, if I could live in Chicago and have all my family be there with me, I'd be there. You know what I mean? I love the weather. I love everything about it. But family was more important to me. So Mom and Julie, you know, conspired and were like, we've got to get you back. How about Natchez? There's a house for sale. We could like, you know, we could all pull in and see about buying it for you. What do you think? And I was like, well, maybe. I didn't buy the house. We rented one, but you know, it was the house across the street from where I live right now. So
really?
Yeah. So and I always wanted the house that I live in now. So it was all meant to be.
Like, yes, that's kind of a God wink there.
Oh my gosh. All of it. Like I said, like even with the stroke, had I not have stayed in Chicago, I would have never met my husband. So you know, everything happens for a reason.
You've been through quite the journey.
It was a journey for sure. It was a roller coaster.
Okay, so what are you doing now?
So right now, I'm still working out of my home currently. I have, you know, thoughts. I really want to open a bakery. We do have a building on Main Street that will potentially be a bakery one day if I can get it all together. But right now I just do it out of my house. I do cakes, cookies, cupcakes, everything celebratory, wedding cakes, anything like that, anything decorative. So
y'all need, if y'all have not tasted anything Molly has made, y'all need to do it ASAP. She is so talented. You're so talented.
Sweet. Thank you.
Your wedding cakes are beautiful. I remember you did one of a cooler, and I pulled it up and showed it to everybody.
That's your favorite one.
Yes. I'm like, can you believe that? That's a cake, everybody.
Oh, gosh, the Lord.
So y'all need to go try it if you haven't. And I'm just counting down the days for the bakery.
I know, me too.
You know we'll be your number one customer.
Girl,
it's going to be me and Julie are competing.
I know. Well, y'all probably be working.
That's true.
Y'all might have part-time jobs at the front.
That might be true. That might be true.
I know. It's like, I really want it to happen. It's just, I want it to be perfect. So I'm taking my time. I'm not going to rush it. It'll happen when it happens. Like I said, everything happens for a reason, because I was going to do it first. Had another vertebral artery dissection. Because when I moved here, we were getting ready to do it. I was going to open that bakery within a year. But we had a vertebral artery dissection. I did not have a stroke this time, but it was still, a health scare. Then, Ian proposed. So, you gotta get married. I gotta have a wedding. And then, what was the other thing? Oh, then COVID. So, see.
Yeah. Well, see, you're so in tune, though, to that journey and to what direction you're being led in.
Oh, I don't force it. I don't force it. It just happens.
Super admirable.
Oh, thanks.
Well, we're just all so proud of you.
Thank you.
And tell us again the details so people don't forget. March 6th.
Okay, so it's Monday, March 6th.
Okay.
7 p.m. Central Time.
Do you know the name of the episode?
I think it's called Who Do You Love?
Ooh,
Who Do You Love?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and our host is Jessie Palmer. For all the ladies out there, Bachelorette fans.
For all the
Bachelor fans.
Bachelor fans.
Yeah, Bachelor fans. So, that's something to watch, too, other than me.
Well, anything else you can give us? Any hints at all?
No, I don't know. Well, I'm trying to think if there's anything. I'm scared. I'm scared to say it.
No spoilers. No little tease.
I don't think there's any tease. I think it's it'll be a good episode. It's 2 hours, so I mean there's gonna be a lot that goes on.
Any emotional tears happening in this episode?
I think I did cry. I don't know. I cry a lot, so it's probably you might get it's probably happy tears, sad tears. I don't know. It could be a little bit of both. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see. I can't tell you. We don't know what's going to happen.
Well, we're excited for the experience.
I know. We'll see.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in the studio today.
That's great.
Again, thank you to all our partners. And just another reminder to tune in March 6th at
7 p.m.
7 p.m. on the Food Network to watch Molly's big premiere in the spring competition baking show. We are just so excited. As always, God bless and have a champion day.
Thank you.
Hey y'all, it's Juliana Wallace. And if you like what we're doing here at Miss Lou Champion Spotlight, make sure to like, follow, and share on all of our social media platforms. It costs you nothing and it helps us continue to spread positivity all throughout the Miss Lou.